Hello, everybody. I'm Andrea, and I'm from the Crime Victims Center. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a program called the Victims Compensation Assistance Program. This program started in 1976 and currently is found in every state in the United States, as well as most countries. So what does the program do? It is a means to offer financial assistance to individuals who have been victimized of a crime. What the eligibility requirements are is that we have at least $100 out of pocket minimum loss, which we know in this day and age, just going to the emergency room would exceed that $100. Secondly, you need to report that crime to proper law enforcement authorities. You must be willing and able to cooperate with law enforcement. Sometimes we find victims will initially want to talk with police, but then for whatever reason, they end up not wanting to talk with police or cooperate with them. To be eligible for the program, you must follow through with the criminal charges. Now, does that mean that we need to know who the offender is? Not necessarily. Sometimes people are victimized and don't know who the individual is. But if you follow the other requirements as far as notifying the proper authorities and seeking medical attention, then you don't need to know who the offender is. So where do they get this money from? People would often think that it's taxpayers' money, but it is not. I want to reassure you. This money is actually generated from fines through the adult and juvenile system. That pool of money goes into the greater pool of money in Pennsylvania, which then goes out to pay the claims that we apply for. In the past, Pennsylvania has paid over $3 million to victims to help them with their various needs. So we're going to take a quick look at what type of claims do we pay for. Now, I could go into a lot more detail and spend a lot more time here, but today we just wanted to sort of just give you out the information that you would need. We are hoping that if you are eligible for any of these programs, that you would please reach out to our agency. We have certified individuals here who are able to process that claim for you. So let's look at some of the types of claims that we get. Unfortunately, we are getting homicide claims. So if a homicide has occurred, we are going to be able to assist that family and those loved ones with any funeral expenses that they have. Another type of claim we have are actual physical assaults. So that could be an aggravated assault, a simple assault, it could be domestic related. And those individuals typically will need some type of medical attention. And we also know that not everyone has insurance coverages, but we ask that you please go out and seek the medical attention that you need. We will help you along that journey with helping with your medical expenses. Now, we do know with the program, we do have some caps on the program, and we're not going to talk about those today either. Those are something that when we would meet individually or you need to call in, we can go over all the other criteria that is involved with the claim process. But I do want to also assure you that there are no income guidelines, so anybody is able to apply for this program. So along with the physical assaults, those would be emergency room visits, ambulance bills, life flight. We always end up getting a lot of life flight bills. Any equipment that you may need. Say you had, you were knocked down during a burglary or a robbery and you ended up with a hip fracture. You might needed some type of medical equipment, a walker or a cane or a wheelchair that you might need to have during your recovery process. If your insurance did not cover it, then our compensation program would be, you could be eligible for that program. We've also assisted with medications. So say you needed an antibiotic for an injury that had occurred to you, or some type of tetanus shot, things to that nature, pain medications. We are able to apply for those as well. We've had individuals that had injuries to their face where they would have teeth knocked out. We are able to assist with dental programs, and we work with a lot of the dentists here in the Fayette County area, as well as your glasses. An individual as myself, I wear glasses all the time. If my glasses were to be broken, I would be lost. I would not be able to see. So if you were injured in an assault and your glasses was broken, then we would be able to help you get those glasses replaced. In a sexual assault, individuals are taken to the local hospitals and a forensic rape exam is conducted. We want to assure those individuals that that medical procedure that is performed would be covered under the compensation program. The hospitals are all aware of that program, and they actually file the paperwork for you so that you wouldn't even have to bother with that process. So if we would have some other types of crimes, burglaries, robberies, and arson, maybe, there are some other programs that we work with that would be able to help you as well. So let's go back a little bit with our homicide victims. If we were having to take care of funeral expenses, there's a lot involved there. And a lot of individuals don't have those types of funds to be able to pay for funeral expenses. So we reach out to the funeral directors and teach them and let them know about our program so that they're able to pass that information along to the families so that they are able to have a dignified, loving funeral service for their loved ones within the means of the program. We also have loss of support. So if an individual was killed in a homicide and say they had young children, we are able to provide some type of assistance for those individuals. Now, being that we are a payer of last resort, which I had mentioned earlier, we automatically have to utilize any type of insurances. So that also means life insurance and any type of medical insurance, homeowners insurance, as well as any type of disability or survivor benefits. So sometimes we have an individual who may have been a victim of a homicide and they had dependent children. They have to reach out to Social Security to receive those death benefits first if they qualify. If not, then we would be able to utilize our program to offer some type of financial assistance. Now, again, like I said earlier, there are caps and limits on our programs, and those are things that we can talk to you about individually instead of spending a lot of time here today. We're just sort of doing a brief overview to make sure that if you do qualify or you're interested or you know of somebody who may be interested or eligible for our program, to please reach out to us. So one of the other things that we do cover, again, would be medical expenses, which means office visits, transportation to and from office visits, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and any type of follow-up visits and things to that nature that would involve having to go to your medical provider. We also cover counseling expenses. So here at the Crime Victims Center, we offer free and confidential services. However, some individuals choose to want to go to someone that they're maybe already established with, or that they feel that is maybe closer to their residence and they want to seek out services elsewhere. They are definitely welcome to do that. And our program also would assist with any of the counseling fees that might be involved if their insurance doesn't cover that. We talked about the forensic rape exam, and that is through all the hospitals that is here in our area. So you wouldn't have to worry about those claims here with us, but the hospitals would provide those. Relocation expenses is something that we do, and typically those are for two types of crimes. An arson, where obviously your house has been damaged and it's not livable, so you have to relocate. And then with domestic violence victims, where they are in fear and need to relocate. Our program will help with assistance with those moving fees. It might be for a rental company, a moving company, maybe some storage facilities in order for you to be able to get relocated. We also do a crime scene cleanup. There might be an instance where your home, somebody came in and there was a horrific homicide or an assault that occurred in your home, and you needed to have the scene cleaned up. There might have been blood left, things to that nature where you just don't feel comfortable cleaning it yourself or not able to clean it yourself. So if you have to hire a company to come in and do a cleanup of your home, they will offer those types of services as well. And then we also offer what is called a stolen cash benefit. We see these typically, and in the last several years, we have seen an actual increase in those crimes. But that type of crime is where we would have an individual who was basically robbed, or there was a theft, and they had money stolen from them. Now, our program is very specific. So in order for you to be eligible for that program, there's certain requirements. And one of them is that you have to be either a retired individual or having Social Security benefits or Social Security disability benefits. So if you're retired or receiving Social Security benefits, and say you were walking down the street and someone comes up behind you and hits you, knocks you to the ground and steals your purse or your wallet, and you had money in it, you were just paid, you went to the bank, you had money on you, and you were going to the store or walking maybe to the grocery store or a drugstore, and someone stole your money, then you are eligible for a percentage of your entitlement. Unfortunately, for individuals as of myself who's working and not a senior citizen or retired, if that same would happen to me, I'm actually not eligible. The program is currently always evolving, and we're always trying to advocate for change. So that might be something in the future that would be a program that would be covered at that time, but currently it is not. So just to sort of give you a little bit of overview again, we want to make sure that your services are being met. So if you were a victim of a crime and you had any out-of-pocket expenses related to medical, counseling, your injuries, please reach out to us. Now, I will let you know things that are not eligible, and this is something that we get a lot of phone calls from. Individuals will reach out to their law enforcement, and law enforcement will say, well, call the Crime Victims Center. They're able to help you. And sometimes it's very upsetting to us that we have to turn people away and say, no, you're not eligible for that type of expense. So some things that we do not cover. We do not cover property damage. So if your car was stolen and it was damaged, we're not able to help you with any type of cost or financial assistance to help you repair your vehicle. Or if it is placed in like a car lot where it was towed to, we're not able to help you get those impound fees or towing fees. Maybe had your window damaged, somebody threw a rock or shot a BB gun through your windows of your home. Again, that's property damage, and we're not able to help you with that. And those are things that we do get a lot of phone calls on. And we're hoping that in the future, again, as we advocate, that this program will continue to expand and maybe one day eventually cover those expenses. So how does the process work? First of all, if you were a victim of a crime and you have these out-of-pocket expenses, please call the Crime Victims Center at 724-437-3737 and ask to speak to an advocate about the Victims Compensation Program. Once we talk to you, there's an application process. We will make an appointment for you to come in and fill out the application, and we ask that you please bring all your documentation with you. Medical bills, receipts, invoices, estimates, anything that you have that you feel is related to that crime. Police officer information, your incident number, anything that you have that you can help us with would be wonderful. We'll have you fill out an application, and we will electronically process that application for you. It goes to Harrisburg, where we have claims specialists that will process your claims, and typically anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, they will render a decision, and they will basically make sure that one, you're qualified, and two, you met all the eligibility requirements, and they had all the documents and items that they need and requested, and then they will process the claim, and they will either approve or deny it. Now, I will tell you, we can never, ever guarantee payment. We can never, ever guarantee that, yes, you will be paid. All we can say is go through the requirement eligibilities and find out, are you eligible? And if so, we will go ahead and start the claim process for you. One of the things that we are seeing, and it's unfortunate, but one of the things that you are not eligible for is in the crime itself, if you participated in it, unfortunately, you may be denied. So for example, we have, and I'll give you two different examples just to let you know how it works. We have two individuals who are possibly selling drugs to each other. Something happens, somebody pulls out a gun, and an individual gets shot, and it's a homicide. The program will look at it, and they will make a determination whether they felt that individual was involved in illegal activity. And if that's the case, the claim may be discounted or denied completely. Another example is if we have a DUI crash. Say we have an individual who is knowingly drunk and gets behind the wheel of a car, and you as a passenger was drinking as well and knew that the driver was intoxicated, but you knowingly and willingly got into that vehicle with them. A car crash occurs and there's injuries. You may not be eligible due to the fact that you also was intoxicated, but knowingly and willingly got into the vehicle with a person who was intoxicated. So those are some of the crimes that we have seen through the years that has either had a reduction in the claim or denied completely. I will say the program will look at everybody's claim individually, and we have a lot of opportunities to be able to say our side of the story. So as a victim, please don't think that, oh, they'll never approve me, I'll be denied. That's not our decision to make. That is the program in Harrisburg. But we will advocate on your behalf to make sure that if you are eligible, that we will be able to see you through the process. So please, again, if you have any questions about our program, please reach out to the Crime Victims Center. Again, it's 724-437-3737. You can see, we have our website at www.crimevictimscenter.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And all our programs are up for you. We also have a YouTube channel that has a variety of programs and services that we provide to the individuals and people of Fayette County. So please reach out to us if you have any more questions, and we're more than helpful to help you, more than welcome to help you. And we hope that you enjoyed this video and that this was information that you could use. And please pass this along to anybody if you know was a victim of a crime and might be eligible. Please give them more information so that they can contact us as well. Thank you.